What's up, YouTube? King Billy Mitchell here, and I'm here to present the complete first season of King Billy Mitchell. Every episode is in this collection, as well as some bonus material and the pilot episode. I hope you enjoy, and don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. There's going to be a lot of salty Karl fanboys in the comments, so all the proles in the Kingdom of Mitchell best get ready to go to war. The first full episode is called Billy Mitchell Destroys the Defamer, Karl Jobst.
On the 1st of April, I lost my lawsuit against Billy Mitchell.
What's up, YouTube? It's Billy Mitchell here again, video game player of the millennium. Here today to talk about Karl Jobst's embarrassing response video to his historic legal loss against the unimpeachable Billy Mitchell. Just when I thought Karl Jobst had learned his lesson, it looks like Billy has to put him in his place yet again. There was a lot of slander going on in this video, so Karl Jobst better watch himself, or he might need another second Jobst to cover my legal bills.
And the judge has ordered me to pay $350,000 in damages, plus interest. It goes without saying this is not the result I wanted or expected, and it's honestly quite shocking.
The only shocking thing is that you still have 1 million subscribers, and Karl Jobst simps willing to suck the jism out of you. The only possible way that this legal loss is shocking to you is if you are as brain dead as the YouTuber who... Yeah, accusing me of killing somebody with no proof to back it up, then releasing a billion videos per day harassing me, is gonna result in a defamation win for Billy fucking Mitchell. Maybe if you had shut the fuck up for a fucking second, you wouldn't have been sued all the way to the welfare line, you dumb ass motherfucker.
Personally, I disagree with the judge's decision, and so I'm currently exploring any potential avenues for appeal.
Yeah, I bet you disagree with the judge's decision. I'd try to appeal too, if I had just been rammed up the butt with a 10-inch sword of justice.
An appeal may stay the judgment on application until the appeal has concluded, which might result in several outcomes. The appeal could be dismissed and I would be ordered to pay the original judgment.
Spoiler alert, that is exactly what is going to happen.
The judgment amount may be lowered if the court finds it excessive, or the judgment may be overturned completely if the court finds errors of law have been made. This entire process can take up to a year or longer, so as it stands, this remains an ongoing battle, and it's not a battle I hope to give up easily.
Please, I am begging you to make more harassment videos and false accusations. I could really use a new cardboard box for my TV, so I'd be down with taking the one you live in after I'm done with you.
This has been very upsetting, but truthfully, losing a court case isn't the end of the world, even if it is to Billy Mitchell.
It may not be the end of the world, but it is the end of your Jobst.
It sucks, it's not what I wanted, I know it's not what many others wanted, but life will go on. Unfortunately for me, something else has happened that has been far more upsetting, and far more difficult to deal with.
What happened, Jobst? Did people figure out you're an F-tier, socially retarded pickup artist?
Hey guys, it's Karl here. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate a simple and easy approach you can do if you're looking to overcome your fear of approaching women. Let's go. Hey, sorry, I don't want to bother you guys. I just want to say I think you are really, really cute.
Oh, thank you. She's adorable, isn't she?
Yes, very adorable.
She's adorable.
Hey guys, I don't mean to bother you. I just want to say I think you are really, really cute. Have a good night. Hey guys, I don't mean to bother you. I'm just going to say that I think you're really, really cute.
Oh, thank you.
That's alright. Have a good night. Wait, guys. Sorry to interrupt you guys. I don't want to bother you. I just want to say I thought you were really, really cute.
She is the most beautiful person I've ever seen. So
Agreed. Thank you. See you guys. Hey, guys, don't want to bother you. Just want to say I think you are really, really cute. Have a good night. Hey guys. Sorry, I don't want to bother you. Just want to say you are really, really sexy. Just want to say you are really, really sexy. That's alright. Have a good night. Hey, excuse me, guys. Sorry to bother you. I just wanted to say I think you are really, really cute. Have a good night. Right. Hey guys. Don't mean to bother you. Just want to say that I think she's really, really cute. That's alright. Have a good night. Hey guys. Sorry to interrupt whatever you're doing there. I just wanted to say you are really, really cute. Alright. Have a good night. That's alright. Have a good night. Alright, so you just saw me do a few approaches. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened now, so let's break it down.
What do the kids say these days? Cringe? Yeah, you are that.
Many people are upset and angry with me as they believe I have misled them and lied to them about the nature of the lawsuit. Some even go as far as saying that I intentionally lied to the public.
Gee, I wonder if it's because your idiot fans didn't watch my response video, and you pumped out about 1 billion videos a second, obsessing over me like a deranged fangirl. Look, I'm married, Jobst, and unlike your marriage, my marriage is going to last. So back off my dick. It didn't help all those videos were about some bullshit cheating accusation, not about the fact you accused me of being responsible for murder. I swear to Billy Mitchell Sr., you are dumb. This has been Billy Mitchell, the Czar of Hot Sauce, the King of Kong, the Perfect Man, signing off. If you'd like to see a part 2 to this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe.
Subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be giving you a shitload of free good advice. Catch you later, guys.
This next video is called King Billy Mitchell on Karl Jobst's bankruptcy. I'm not done yet.
These people need to be punished in a big way before they stop.
Billy Mitchell needs to be destroyed in court.
Billy Mitchell here, video game king of eternity, here today with a breaking Karl Jobst news update. Yes, the disgraced pickup artist who once claimed he would never stop harassing me after winning my lawsuit.
The last person on YouTube you want to lose to is me.
Yeah.
You know there's going to be 100 vids rubbing it in. Billy will never, I will never let Billy forget this. Oh boy, I'm not going to be a good winner.
Literally cried like a baby during my $500,000 defamation win. Now, I don't know about you, but King Billy doesn't tolerate crybabies in his kingdom.
You're goddamn right.
That's not what I'm about, it's not what you or anyone else should be about, and just for daring to cry in my presence, I'm doubling down and suing the bastard again. Yes, I'm suing him for crying.
These people need to be punished in a big way.
Now, before any of you proles start bitching about how I'm excessively destroying Karl Jobst and his offspring,
Stop! He's already dead.
listen closely. All Karl needed to do was kneel before the king. Just once. Instead, he made countless videos slandering me, and even had the false balls to say that after he won, he would not be a good winner.
I'm not going to be a good winner.
Not only that, but he claimed I would be bankrupt soon, even bragging about being able to take away my chariot. This is amusing to the king, given all we know now about Karl Jobst soon declaring bankruptcy himself. What's not amusing, and in fact is unforgivable, is that this degenerate piece of inhuman trash went after my fucking hot sauce business. Now, say what you will about my family and even my son, but nobody talks shit about my hot sauce. Everybody knows Billy's hot sauce is off limits, and only cucked fools taking money from simps like Notch, the creator of junk like Minecraft, would dare cross that line. And because Karl did cross that line, I'm not sorry. The gloves are off. Not only am I going to take the nearly $1 million of winnings from Karl Jobst, or perhaps more accurately, his sugar daddy Notch, but I'm also going after his hot sauce business too. Oh, what's that you say? Karl doesn't have a hot sauce business? That's right, Karl's just a failed lecher who makes a living riding my nuts. So what can I go after? Oh, right. Surprisingly, Karl's still married, for now, so why don't I steal his woman and kick his kids to the curb? Would that be an appropriate response? To determine what would be the best punishment after my upcoming second lawsuit win against Karl Jobst, I'm decreeing a royal competition. The commenter with the best idea for how best to humble Jobst for going after my sauce biz will receive Billy Mitchell's exclusive and personal thumbs up. Many people have paid thousands of dollars to receive such an honor, but the winning comment will get it for free, pending my lawyer's approval. And this is a notice to all others who dare go after Billy fucking Mitchell. You come after the king, you best not miss. And if you go after my hot sauce, you'll be screaming in eternal agony in hell along with Jobst and his family. There will be no additional warnings. This has been King Mitchell, the hot sauce whisperer, signing off. If you proles would like to see more from the King of Kong, leave a like, comment, and subscribe.
I'm not going to be a good winner.
Underneath the pale moonlight, I feel the sting of every fight. Whiskey memories haunting me. Where did the good times run and flee?
Changing gears here with a beautiful music video. This is Billy Mitchell's Speedruns Karl Jobst career.
We are not ramping down. We're just getting started. Nothing stops this train. Nothing.
All right, thank you, baby. Man, oh, bitch. What's this? Mr. Franklin's lonely. There's only...
Sorry, Daddy.
What do you mean sorry, Daddy? What the hell did you do?
Is Billy Mitchell gonna have to choke a bitch?
We're done. And I say we're done.
This ain't the way it ought to be. Broken records and starlit dreams. Tear yourself away again, like the autumn leaves in the wind. But don't you see? Life ain't what it seems. Keep your soul alive. Feel the burn inside. Through the haze and endless nights, we're searching for those guiding lights. Take a step and don't look back. Feel the courage that you lack. You see, life ain't what it seems. Keep your soul alive. Feel the burn inside.
Goddamn right.
Hey guys, it's Karl here. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate a simple and easy approach you can do if you're looking to overcome your fear of approaching women. Hey guys, I don't mean to bother you, I just want to say I think you're really, really cute. Have a good night.
Shadows fade and stars ignite, painting dreams in the dark of night. Won't you fly on broken wings? In the silence, hear the heart that sings. But don't you see? Life ain't what it seems. Keep your soul alive. Feel the burn inside. But don't you see? Life ain't what it seems. Keep your soul alive. Feel the burn inside.
World Record Headquarters, can I help you?
This episode is called King Billy Mitchell Eviscerates Karl Jobst's Credibility.
I'm not going to say exactly what is throwing me over, but it is...
Hold on a minute. Let's rewind that for anybody who missed it.
I'm I'm not going to say exactly what is screwing me over.
What's up, YouTube? Billy Mitchell here, video game emperor of infinity, here today to react to the video that cost Karl Jobst $50,000 in aggravated damages. This should be a good time, so grab your popcorn and your Ricky's hot sauce. I like to slather it all over that corn.
You know, these people are insane. It's like Billy Mitchell.
Yes, because the owner of a successful hot sauce business, restaurant, and the rightful world record holder of GoldenEye's dam level is insane.
Fuck! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, dude, I'm fucking going mental. This is insane. Look at it.
Okay, whatever you say, doctor.
What exactly happened with Billy Mitchell to start this whole... You just made a video, right?
Just a video? It sounds so innocuous. How about just a million videos?
I originally made a video on Guinness, just talking about Guinness World Records and how they're a piece of shit and their opinion's irrelevant. And because, you know, like, some people still think Guinness World Records mean something.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I have a Guinness World Record, that's amazing, or whatever. But most of these Guinness World Records are just either paid for.
Just like you.
I honestly love Displate. I think they make incredible looking posters. Not only will buying a Displate improve the aesthetic of your room, but it will also help to make future competitions possible. Or they're just like, you know, not the world record because the people who decide them have no idea what they're doing.
I don't mean to bother you. I just want to say I think you are really, really cute. Have a good night.
Karl Jobst once again thinking that he is the arbiter of wisdom and justice. Does it surprise anybody else that Karl Jobst has so much contempt for the judge?
Right.
So I made a video saying that Guinness sucks, and you know, as part of that, right at the end of that, I had like a little bit on Billy Mitchell, and I'm like, you know, and they suck because they put Billy Mitchell's world records back up to Guinness, even though they're obviously fake.
Obviously, because Karl Jobst says so, and everything you say turns out to be true, right? Oh wait, I'm the one with $500,000 in winnings.
Yeah. And he sent me your version of a cease and desist or whatever, which is like, I'm going to sue you unless you retract that. Notice that just me calling him out just the end of a video. So he already knew who I was in 2020. Then I made a full video about him, and then I just started making heaps of videos about him. He wasn't happy with that.
I'm gonna convert that heaps to the American version, lots. Karl, my boy, I sent you a cease and desist. What did you do, you fucking moron? You decided to make more videos, even though I sent you a cease and desist. In your words, lots of videos. Does this sound like an intelligent person? No, it sounds like someone who is begging for a lawsuit, then cries to your fans and begs for money after you were begging for the fucking lawsuit to begin with. All you had to do was stop, and you would have been $500,000 richer.
And then the end of 2021, he filed an official lawsuit, which is still ongoing. I'm not going to say exactly what is screwing me over, but it is...
Hold on a minute. Let's rewind that for anybody who missed it.
I'm not going to say exactly what is screwing me over. I'm not going to say exactly what is screwing me over. I'm not going to say exactly what is screwing me over. But it is ridiculous. When you know the whole situation, it's really fucking stupid.
What about Karl Jobst? Why are you suing him?
Karl Jobst has nothing to do with video games. He's being sued because he's blaming the death of an individual, Apollo legend, on me.
And you're suing him for defamation for making that word?
Has nothing to do with video games.
I'm not going to say exactly what is screwing me over, but it is...
Has that case resolved?
No.
Has the Apollo legend matter resolved?
Very favorably, yes.
For you?
No, for all of us.
Because he died?
No. Stupid question.
Let's go out the record for that.
Second. It's 11:38. We're going up to
Yeah.
Really stupid.
Really stupid, Karl? Really? Is that what you consider stupid? So let me get this straight. If I accuse you of leading to the death of your mother, you would think that was stupid that you wanted to sue me? Let me just get this fucking straight. So I can go around the street accusing people of murder, but that's stupid if they want to sue me. You have got to be the dumbest Australian I've ever met.
And when you're in constant litigation like this, it costs money to just have somebody on retainer, right?
So I've spent, I would say around $380,000.
Not anymore. You've got a whole lot more money to pay me now.
The cost like tripled. And it got to a point where the law firm was like, dude,
I actually don't doubt that Karl's lawyers did call him dude. That's the level of quality that Karl attracts.
It's going to cost another $200,000.
Oh my
this was like recently. This was like a month ago, and I'm like, "What the fuck? I've almost spent $400,000, and now it's going to be another $200,000. That's insane." So I had a bit of a temper tantrum.
How does this not surprise the king? Karl cried in front of everyone in the witness stand, and now he's admitting to crying to his lawyers about money. When does this crybaby not cry?
It's not like that's a lot of fucking money, and you know that's why I'm making so many Billy Mitchell videos.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Then I'm like, I see people on my channel, they're like, oh, I wish I remember when Karl used to talk about speedrunning and why are you talking about Billy Mitchell so much? I have to earn so much money to afford the lawsuit that my YouTube channel is no longer about, oh, what do I make videos about that I like? No, it's like, dude, how do I make videos that I just survive and can pay for this lawsuit?
So you're saying in order to survive, you need to make more videos that led to the lawsuit that is destroying you in the first place. What? No, the truth of the matter is, making videos about King Billy Mitchell is easy for you to do, it's entertaining for you, you want to do it, and that is why you're not making other videos. Until now, when you're forced to.
That's pretty much all I'm thinking about.
Believe me, Karl, everybody knows Billy Mitchell is all that's on your mind, but get me the fuck out of your wet dreams.
But good. I had some good news recently. It hasn't fully come. I haven't gotten the money yet. But right at the beginning of the lawsuit, right, Notch, the creator of Minecraft, he made a tweet saying, "Hey, Karl, I'm going to pay your legal bills. I'll pay all your legal bills." And I'm like, hell yeah, that's awesome.
Hell yeah, no accountability, no repercussions for your actions. Mommy and Daddy are gonna bail me out again. I don't have to face any consequences because I'm Karl fucking Jobst. Not this time, sonny boy.
He got me in contact with his manager, and then she started paying my legal bills, and like 3 months in, the manager's like, "We want to stop supporting you."
That manager is a King Billy Mitchell fan, confirmed.
You're trash.
Congratulations, she's not going to hell.
And I was like, it's so weird because at that time I was like, well, he did help me for a few months, so I was kind of happy he did. What ended up happening was I got a really good law firm.
Just a reminder that Karl is now throwing his law firm under the bus and basically calling them incompetent, but no, right here he's calling them a really good law firm.
Because when a billionaire comes at you and says, "I'm going to pay your legal bills," you get a fucking good lawyer.
Yeah.
You get a really good lawyer. But then when Notch pulled out, I was stuck with this really expensive lawyer on my own. And then ultimately, over the course of like a 2.5-year lawsuit, that has just ballooned out to massive costs. And that's one of the reasons I did a GoFundMe, where I raised a bunch of money.
And that's also why you couldn't talk about the real reason that Billy Mitchell was suing you, isn't it, Karl?
I'm not gonna say exactly what is suing me over, but it is.
You needed that GoFundMe money, and you didn't care if you had to mislead to get it.
And then lately I've been super stressed about money because the money's run out. I'm paying for it now, and I know I'm going to have to pay all this.
So I guess the story has a happy ending after all. Thank you for watching this video. There's much more to this to react to. If you'd like to see the full reaction, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Here is the pilot episode, which was the very first Billy Mitchell video on Nintendo Up. And the video is called Billy Mitchell Always Wins, a statement to Karl Jobst GoFundMe supporters. What's up YouTube, it's Billy Mitchell here, video game player of the century, here to tell you that I just won another victory against a shit stain on society. Karl Jobst, who is going to need a new Jobst after this, has just lost 400,000 Australian dollars to the great Billy Mitchell. Now that's only about 10,000 American dollars or something like that, but a win is a win. First of all, we all know this. Billy Mitchell doesn't cheat. I haven't cheated at my hot sauce, haven't cheated at Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, and not even my wife. So the very notion that somebody would accuse me of cheating is ridiculous. It would never happen. And that was never what the lawsuit was about. The lawsuit was about some YouTuber who for reasons that had nothing to do with me. I don't even know his name, but for some reason, Karl Jobst literally cheated, just like he said I did, but he cheated all of you out of your money in a GoFundMe for his sorry-ass legal defense. Well, congratulations to everyone that donated to Karl Jobst, because all of that GoFundMe money is going to Billy fucking Mitchell. And to all my haters out there, well, here's my balls, here's the floor, and I think you know what to do with your mouth. Billy Mitchell always has a plan, motherfucker. This has been Billy Mitchell, Perfect Score Pac-Man, the King of Kong, the Czar of Hot Sauce, signing off. Suck on those balls. So, how did you like it? Do you want another season of this incredible show? Then you'd better leave a comment and subscribe for more. Finally, here are some bonus material from the official Billy Mitchell YouTube channel. Yes, in case you couldn't tell, I am actually a personification of the king inside of the real Billy Mitchell.
Greetings to everyone who took the time to click on this video. I'm Billy Mitchell, and welcome to my channel. In fact, many of you may find it hard to believe that I'm here, because I almost never upload to YouTube for any reason. However, I wanted to formally respond to recent accusations that Karl Jobst made of me related to Apollo Legend. May 26th, Jobst released a video downright loaded with false defamatory statements. The most heinous accusation related to Apollo's passing. In the video, Jobst outright states that I drove Apollo to in his words, he may as well have just said murder. For those of you who haven't seen it, here's the clip.
He also sued YouTuber Apollo Legend for $1 million. I haven't spoken about this publicly, but this lawsuit ultimately ended with Apollo giving in and settling with Mitchell. He was forced to remove all of his videos about Mitchell's cheating and paid him a large sum of money. This left him deeply in debt, which required him to find extra work. But with his ongoing health issues, this was all too much of a burden, and he ultimately Not that Billy Mitchell would ever care though. In fact, when Billy Mitchell thought Apollo died earlier, he expressed joy at the thought. The lawsuit against Apollo was just as frivolous as the rest, and Apollo definitely would have won in court, but again, he was extremely ill and couldn't handle the ongoing stress.
These claims and that story are demonstrably false. They are a total lie. Regardless of anyone's opinion of me or my dispute with Apollo, let there be no confusion. Apollo never paid me any money. I never paid Apollo any money. There was no financial transaction between Apollo and myself, ever. Apollo never even paid any legal fees of any kind. It is impossible for this tale that Jobst has told you to be true, because Apollo never paid a dime in the first place. In my hand, I have the settlement, and it proves everything I'm saying right here and now. The reality is that Apollo and I reached our settlement and we went our separate ways. We left everything behind us. The agreement had no long-lasting impact on his life and did not exert any impact afterwards. Contrary to the Jobs lie, I did not want to ruin the life of a young man with medical problems. That was a major factor in my walking away with no financial compensation whatsoever. Even before we settled, Apollo told people that our dispute was not among the principal problems he faced in life. In this message from July 2020, Apollo said that, quote, "The lawsuit has definitely raised my stress levels, but I have a lot else going on," end quote. That was in July. In August, our situation was completely resolved, and his tragedy 4 months later came after Christmas. That is why he didn't say anything about me in his final moments. I simply wasn't a factor. And again, contrary to Jobs' tales, that I didn't care about his tragedy, Apollo and I reconciled the past quite well during our negotiations. Although forgiveness is a big thing, I was saddened to hear about his tragedy. The real reason why Jobs fabricated this story to blame me for Apollo's is because he wanted to rile up his viewers' emotions. The reality is that Jobs recklessly talked about an agreement that he wasn't privy to, and nothing he said was true. It was very premeditated, and it was very calculated. I was going to ignore Karl forever. But this cannot be ignored. I plan to respond the way that everybody anticipates for me to respond. And Karl, expect me.
Greetings, everyone. I originally didn't plan to create a video relating to Karl Jobst. I felt the judgment spoke for itself. However, after Karl Jobst's response video and a few other statements by him, I feel compelled to speak. I also feel that this video provides a good opportunity to correct a few past claims by Karl Jobst. But first, Ricky's world famous sauce is running a sale. Get 10% off all sauces at rickysauce.com using the discount code KarlLost at the checkout. If you missed the recent special edition Dragon Sauce sale, stay tuned because bottles number 1, 22, 117, and 256 will appear on eBay soon. We call them the 4 kill screen bottles. Also, watch the new film from the creators of The King of Kong featuring me, Steve Wiebe, and Walter Day titled Arcades and Love Songs, The Ballad of Walter Day. That information is available at arcadesandlovesongs.com. Firstly, Mr. Jobs claimed that he couldn't disclose the subject of the lawsuit to his viewers is false. This is because the claim, which is the document that I filed in court to sue Mr. Jobs, in which I clearly set out why I was suing him, is a matter of public record. This means anyone in the world can go down to the court and ask for a copy, and the court has to supply that document to them. I essentially published that document to the world at large, and as such, I could not possibly claim that Mr. Jobs or anyone else had defamed me if, for example, they sent a copy to their fans so they could understand the dispute and know what it was about. He also could have done this by acknowledging what he said was false and given a genuine apology. Australian law clearly states that an apology is not an admission of guilt. In a 2019 case, the Supreme Court of Queensland stated at paragraph 17, the fact that the defendant wished to contest that their publication conveyed the defamatory meanings contended for by the Wagners was not a good reason to continue to refuse to issue a public correction, retraction, or apology. The law has long recognized that a defendant may formulate such a statement while not admitting that the meanings were in fact conveyed. Secondly, Mr. Jobs' defense that his GoFundMe campaign intended to crowdfund for a second potential lawsuit, but redirected the funds to the existing lawsuit after the second lawsuit never materialized is bullshit. I say this based upon 3 facts relating to Mr. Jobs' financial situation at the time of his GoFundMe campaign and the timing of his GoFundMe campaign. To start, I'll state these 3 facts and then place them into context for everybody. 1. Notch, the creator of Minecraft, funded the early and late stages of Mr. Jobs' legal defense, but he did not fund Mr. Jobs for a time in the middle of the case. Here's the clip of Mr. Jobs himself explaining how this happened.
Good. I had some good news recently. It hasn't fully come. I haven't gotten the money yet. But right at the beginning of the lawsuit, right, Notch, the creator of Minecraft,
yeah,
he made a tweet saying, "Hey, Carl, I'm going to pay your legal bills. I'll pay all your legal bills." And I'm like, "Hell yeah, that's awesome." And then I messaged him, and I'm like, "Are you sure about that, man? You sure you want to pay my legal bills?" He's like, "Yep, I want to go through with it." So he got me in contact with his manager, and then she started paying my legal bills. And like 3 months in, the manager's like, "We want to stop supporting you."
For context, the lawsuit started in September 2021. 2. Mr. Jobs exhausted the money that Notch gave him in or about May of 2022. And he then offered to settle the case. Mr. Jobs said this himself on October 9th, 2024, in the comment sections of a YouTube video. I'll read the relevant parts. In May 2022, I made a settlement offer. Originally, when I made the offer, I had spent nothing because Notch was paying. As you can see here, this isn't me acting as if I know Mr. Jobs' legal bills. These are his words. 3. 6 months of silence passed between Mr. Jobs receiving the correspondence concerning a potential second lawsuit and then him opening his GoFundMe campaign. Now I'm going to place these 3 facts into the overall context. On May 10th, 2022, Mr. Jobs published a video about me that led my lawyers to send a concern notice to his lawyers. On May 22nd, 2022, Mr. Jobs and I were scheduled for mandatory mediation in the already existing lawsuit, one and only lawsuit. Before the mediation, my lawyers emailed his lawyers a copy of a legal complaint related to the concerns notice, and my lawyers said that I would proceed with the complaint unless the current lawsuit resolved at the mediation. The current lawsuit did not resolve, but I chose not to begin a second lawsuit, even though my lawyers felt that the second claim was meritorious. No further developments occurred after May 22nd relating to that concerns notice and the complaint emailed to Mr. Jobs' lawyer. The complaint was not filed. The complaint was not served. My lawyers did not email Mr. Jobs' lawyers after the mediation to request that he accepted service of a second lawsuit. It was complete silence. And as I showed earlier, At this time, May 22nd, 2022, the funds that Mr. Notch gave to Mr. Jobs ran dry. In July of 2022, Mr. Jobs submitted an application to the court of what effectively amounted as a Hail Mary attempt to dismiss the lawsuit. That didn't pan out for him. For the sake of brevity, I'll continue on, but I'll leave an explanation of that application in the description of the video. By the time Mr. Jobs had lost his financial backing from Notch, Notch's money was exhausted, he had failed to dismiss the case, he needed money, and he needed money now. But he knew his viewers may not open wallets if he was transparent about the true subject of the lawsuit. Here's what he does. On November 4th, 2022, he reaches back 6 months to May of 2022, pulls out an old legal correspondent that never received follow-up, and he creates a GoFundMe campaign on the premise that he urgently needs financial support for a potential second lawsuit. Karl, I do not accept the fact that you generally woke up 6 months after the last correspondence and also after your financial support ran out from Notch, and you suddenly felt the need to crowdfund for a potential second lawsuit. You obviously knew the second lawsuit was not coming. Or at the very least, you were unsure if it ever was. You created a GoFundMe campaign with the knowledge and intent to fund the existing lawsuit on false premises. Period. End of paragraph. With that said, I feel it is important to address Mr. Jobs' principal argument against all this. His argument is that he opened the GoFundMe campaign because my lawyers told him that I provided instructions to commence a second lawsuit. His position is, if Billy lawyers said so, then why should I not believe them? Here's the clip of him saying that.
Then in 2022, Billy sent me a third concerns notice because of a video I released in April regarding one of Billy's witnesses accusing him of extortion. And he followed that up with another lawsuit, of which he sent to my lawyers and told them he was going to file it against me. And then he sent me a fourth concerns notice, saying he intended to sue me because I put a 10-second AVGN meme in a video completely unrelated to Billy. Billy was now threatening me with 3 simultaneous lawsuits. The first one had already cost $200,000 in the first year alone. So if Billy filed the second and third lawsuits, there was no way I could afford to defend myself.
Here's the problem. Mr. Jobs testified under oath at trial, quote, "I don't believe anything Billy Mitchell says," end of quote. So apparently the only time Mr. Jobs ever believes me is after 6 months pass without follow-up, and he stands to gain $200,000 from his audience. In my opinion, the irony of Mr. Jobs' behavior here is that this misleading and disingenuous behavior is the exact type of behavior that he attacks people for in his videos. And the harsh reality is, he uses these tactics on most subject matters, not just this one. Based upon Mr. Jobs' I lost video, it appears that he plans to dispute the factual findings of the judgment. And based upon his Discord messages, it appears that he's planning a broader revenge campaign against not only me, but my family, my hot sauce company. Here's what I'll say of that with the information available to me today. It's very easy for a YouTuber to create a self-serving video with an unopposed narrative shaped by them. It is not easy to present those arguments in a court of law where the other side can argue back and win. Remember, Mr. Jobs already received his opportunity to argue anything and everything that he claimed in his I lost video, or may claim in a future video. Remember that despite all these allegations that he hurls with inflammatory languages, it is ultimately him who the court found to not be a credible witness. Let's review an example of this in his I Lost video. He says this.
I will say one thing though. The judge found Billy Mitchell to be a credible witness, and essentially accepted his full oral testimony as fact, despite our many attempts to show that Billy is a liar. For example, we have Billy on video in 2023 during his Twin Galaxies deposition saying that the effect I've had on him is minimal.
Did the actions that Karl Jobst and David Race and Jeremy Young and Jeff Harris take also cause you emotional distress?
That is minimal compared to this. At that moment in my deposition, I was discussing the allegations related to video games, not Apollo Legend. The questioner listed a series of individuals in lawsuits with me that all related to video games in one way or another, either in the complaint, in the defense, or as a broader background text. All while sitting in a deposition for a Twin Galaxies lawsuit. Then, when the questioner asked why, I said because this is where it all began. Because my answer related specifically to Twin Galaxies and video games. Mr. Jobs will likely respond by playing a segment of my deposition. I'll play it here and then discuss.
What about Karl Jobst? Why are you suing him?
Karl Jobst has nothing to do with video games. He's being sued because he's blaming the death of an individual, Apollo Legend, on me.
And you're suing him for defamation for making that blame?
Has nothing to do with video games. These two clips of my deposition were two entirely different lines of questioning that occurred hours apart. In the first clip, my answer related to multiple individuals across lawsuits connected to video games in one way or another, including Mr. Jobs, but not only Mr. Jobs. In the second clip, my answers concern specifically Mr. Jobs and the amputations in my complaint against him. Context is everything. What does Mr. Jobs not do in his I Lost video? He doesn't present any opposing argument to his narrative. Despite hearing my explanation, my deposition testimony at the trial, and despite reading the judgment's reasoning for accepting my testimony on this issue, he just omits everything and presents his position as fact. This tactic of omitting inconvenient information to his desired narrative is common in Mr. Jobs' videos generally. Not just the videos about me, all of his videos. Here's an example from his I Lost video.
To be clear though, I never said Billy caused Apollo's suicide, nor have I ever believed that. No one is responsible for Apollo's decision other than Apollo.
That is a very clear statement from Karl there. He never believed that anyone was responsible for Apollo's decision except Apollo. Well, let me show you in an exchange that occurred between my barrister and Mr. Jobs while he was on the witness stand at trial. Here, Mr. Jobs is saying to the court, to the judge, that he did in fact believe that I was a factor in Apollo Legend's decisions. And before you ask, yes, Mr. Jobs said this while under oath. You can make up your own mind, but it appears to me that Karl either lied directly to his fans about this, or he lied to the court under oath. Third example. When I settled my lawsuit with Twin Galaxies in January 2024, Twin Galaxies and Mr. Jobs jointly circulated a claim that I remained banned from Twin Galaxies competition. That is a lie. Here is the relevant clause to the settlement agreement with Twin Galaxies. Twin Galaxies will work to include any future score submissions by Mitchell to Twin Galaxies leaderboard, with such submissions having to go through the normal Twin Galaxies adjudication process. So what Twin Galaxies and Mr. Jobs claimed was that even though Twin Galaxies said it would permit future score submissions from me, I remain banned from the Twin Galaxies competition. That just doesn't make any sense. As a result of these claims, I filed a motion to enforce settlement agreement on Twin Galaxies on May 30th, 2024. The court ruled in my favor, and the judge directly addressed this claim by Twin Galaxies as false. Here's what the judge said. I think it's a fair assumption that the intention was to at least allow for the possibility of the plaintiff to submit his scores. To me, this implies that he was not banned. In my opinion, the claim that I remained banned from Twin Galaxies competition was a coordinated effort by Mr. Jobs and Twin Galaxies to spread misinformation. These are just very, very dishonest people. But with that said, I will not be submitting any scores to Twin Galaxies because it has no authority. It has no purpose. At this point, Twin Galaxies is only relevant for its history. Today, Twin Galaxies has no physical place of business. It has no office. It has no in-person competition, no employees, no referees, no industry experts. In fact, Twin Galaxies today is one guy with no industry experience that runs a website from his apartment. He stands on nothing but the hard work and achievement of those who came before him and thinks money can buy him credibility. Next, Mr. Jobs and Twin Galaxies stated many times over the years that this photo shows a rule violation on one of my Donkey Kong World Records because the joystick was red. That's not true. The joystick was compliant with the rules. In 2007, there was no written rules for competitive Donkey Kong. However, the general rule for all games was to use the original machine with a manufacturer's hardware or hardware that constitutes a like-for-like exchange. A like-for-like exchange is a functional equivalent. For example, in this case, if a four-way joystick installed by the manufacturer broke, you may install and use a different four-way joystick. That is why the joystick was compliant with the rules. The reason for the rule was that arcade video game manufacturers stopped producing parts in the 1980s. No arcade machine on this earth at that time for any game had each and every part from the manufacturer. Nobody's scores would have been valid for that rule. Nobody's. In fact, even today, Donkey Kong World Records occur with non-original hardware inside the control panel based upon a like-for-like exchange rule, both the joystick and the buttons. Mr. Job also levies the claim that the joystick was an 8-way joystick, not a 4-way joystick. I don't think he understands how the arcade machine joysticks work. Any joystick may be any number of ways based upon how it is installed. It doesn't matter who the manufacturer of the joystick is. It doesn't matter what the manual says. It all depends on the restrictor plates inside of the arcade machine, which are not visible from the outside. In this instance, it was a 4-way joystick. On a separate note, if Mr. Jobs' joystick claim was true, then both him and Twin Galaxies would have walked into court, would have shown the photo, and won their case. Instead, neither Mr. Jobs nor Twin Galaxies ever attempted to use this photo at any point in the trial or even in preparation. Despite the claim from Mr. Jobs that this photo was some kind of a smoking gun, his decision not to use it speaks volumes. Even in his I lost video, Karl makes a claim that I'm a proven cheater and that I've seen commentary from around the internet for years now where people claim that there's no doubt. It's obvious. It's been proved. Well, I ask you to consider this. Twin Galaxies had the opportunity to prove in court that I cheated. It couldn't. Karl Jobst, who was told by a billionaire, Notch, that he'd pay for the best legal representation possible, did not even try to prove that I cheated. If it's obvious, that's certain, so easily provable, why does the claim suddenly fall apart as soon as it's taken out of the court of public opinion and into the actual court of law, where I have the right to reply and where real evidence is given by real people who swear under oath to tell the truth? And regardless, Twin Galaxies, what kind of defendant spends hundreds of thousands of dollars, even over $1 million according to his lawyer, litigating a case for 4 years to settle 3 months before trial? A defendant that expects to lose. Lastly, I recently learned that Mr. Jobst plans to engage in a revenge campaign on YouTube by creating videos about me, my family, and my hot sauce company. Imagine that, my family. It seems that the discount code Karl Lost deeply bothers him. On May 5th, 2025, at 3:02 a.m., Mr. Jobst wrote on Discord, "There are 2 videos that need to be made. One talking about the hot sauce company, one talking about how Billy needs to stand on things to make himself look taller in photos. Karl, I'm 6'6". I don't need to do anything to look taller. I've taken thousands of photos of different types with fans since 1982. Some very serious, some nothing but fun. Meanwhile, you're 5'7". Cope harder. Try not to stretch the truth. As for Mr. Jobs' plan to attack my hot sauce company, I don't know what he could possibly claim. I'm interested to know what could possibly lead Mr. Jobs to believe that he knows the financials or the operational framework of a private company. It reminds me of a time where he claimed to know the terms of a confidential settlement agreement back in 2021. Of course, that's why we're all here. That's all for today, but don't forget to buy Ricky's world famous sauce, 10% off at rickysauce.com using the discount code Karl Lost at the checkout. Thank you for watching to the end. What's up, everyone? In June, I published part 1 of my statement on the judgment in my lawsuit against Karl Jobst. I originally planned to create only 1 video, but then I decided on a second video, and I decided to wait for Mr. Jobst to publish his response before creating part 2. However, over the past 2 months, no response arrived, and I feel that I've waited long enough. In addition, I started to believe that Mr. Jobs' response is irrelevant due to what we will discuss in this video, and I don't even expect to respond to whatever he does post in his response. I'll most likely let this video be the final statement by me. But preliminarily, one thing that I still have not gotten over is the fact that Karl Jobst levied all of those red joystick allegations, created all of those videos on the subject, claimed that it was the absolute smoking gun, and ultimately didn't even attempt to use it in court or submit it in any proceedings. As a result, I've decided to promote and disseminate this photo with my signature and the code word Karl Jobst for just $20. This isn't about the money. This is about raising awareness of this photo to as many people as possible. To prove it, I'm offering 15% off this photo and all other products at rickysauce.com with the discount code Karl Jobst at checkout. Don't miss it. To begin, although millions of people viewed the judgment online, I don't feel that many people actually read the over 100 pages of judgment itself and the discussion of Mr. Jobs' behavior and tendencies therein. Specifically, how the court viewed Mr. Jobs' character and his credibility, or lack of credibility. That's what I want to discuss here today. One of the court's observations was Mr. Jobs' absolute refusal to admit anything that opposed his desired narrative on the subject. Here's what the judge said. A little about Mr. Jobs. I have briefly described Mr. Jobs and his activities in the introduction. Mr. Jobs could not be described as a shrinking violet, nor having any concept of tact or diplomacy. Both in his YouTube videos that were played in the court and in giving his evidence, he was self-confident, forthright in expressing his views, and he struck me as very hard to dissuade from a view, whether an opinion or as to the existence of a fact, once he had formed it. These character traits are clear in his videos. On occasion, when he has been interviewed by other online producers, and in his demeanor and evidence in the witness box. Mr. Jobs also has a self-aggrandizing and perhaps self-protective tendency not to admit error and not to back down once he has taken a stance. This trait was clear from a number of things arising during the evidence. I have already mentioned one, his response to Apollo Legends' announcement of settlement with Mr. Mitchell. Don't worry, guys, I will never back down. He also demonstrated that trait in his video about Mr. Mitchell, continually calling him a cheat and asserting that his legal proceedings against others and against Mr. Jobs in this proceeding were frivolous, bullying, and bound to be lost by Mr. Mitchell. Here's two examples of baffling testimony by Mr. Jobs under oath at trial that exhibited the behavior discussed here. Firstly, his so-called retraction video that he buried at the end of his Dark Souls video. Mr. Jobs said that I never attempted to contact him to correct the allegations at issue in the lawsuit. However, not only did I in fact contact Mr. Jobs, I contacted him through 3 different methods. 1, I sent a trustworthy third party to contact him. 2, I published a response video. And 3, my lawyer sent him a concerns notice. Under oath in the witness box, Mr. Jobs defended his claim that I never attempted to contact him by saying that he didn't consider any of those 3 acts as an attempt to contact him. Here is some of the exchange between Mr. Jobs and my barrister during his cross-examination on the subject. Please pause this and read the transcript. As many of you see, Mr. Jobs even testified that my lawyer sending him a letter on my behalf did not constitute contacting him. Here's how the court ultimately viewed that testimony. Fourthly, in that video, he said something that was wrong, about which I considered his evidence to be disingenuous, and that leads me to have reservations about his credibility on occasion. He said, nor did Mr. Mitchell attempt to get in contact with me to clear up any misinformation I may have had. Mr. Summers put to him that he had seen Mr. Mitchell's response, he had spoken with Keemstar, and he had received a concerns notice. Mr. Mitchell was attempting to get in contact with him through Keemstar and through his lawyers and telling him he was wrong. His answers were that Keemstar was a third party, and he did not consider that a letter from Mr. Mitchell's lawyers was Mr. Mitchell getting in contact with him. He contended that he made that statement in his video. He was referring to Mr. Mitchell himself to contact him. Relevantly, the following exchanges took place between him and Mr. Summers. Another example, Mr. Jobs testified under oath that he endeavored to generate as much attention as possible to the so-called retraction by burying it in the last 2 minutes of a 28-minute Dark Souls video. Press pause, please. I'd like you to read it. Yes, he actually said that. Before I read the court's comments on this, let me remind everyone, he didn't mention me in the title of the video. He didn't show me in the thumbnail of the video. He didn't mention me in the description of the video. He didn't mention me in the pinned comment of the video. He allowed the video to fade to black before the relevant segment. In addition, one fact that my lawyer and I missed was that he also chaptered after every part of the video except the so-called retraction segment. Here's what resulted from that testimony. I found his evidence to the effect that he did not deliberately hide retraction within an irrelevant video about another topic not credible. I would also like to remind everyone that despite scathing public criticism on this specific subject, along with criticism he received from the judge, he failed to address it in his I Lost video. Instead, he just repeated the same narrative and moved on to the next subject. Another example, despite a ruling from a court of law that effectively everyone agreed with, he says that his allegations merely discussed a series of events without any cause and effect implications.
If you read my words carefully, I simply laid out a sequence of events that happened one after another. I said there was a lawsuit, Apollo settled, he was in debt, though I was incorrect about the cause of the debt, he needed extra work, and he had ongoing health issues. Then I said this was all too much of a burden, and he ultimately took his own life. I deliberately used words like and but to connect these events. I didn't use words like because or as a result of. I was also very careful to mention Apollo's pre-existing health issues as a major factor. When I said this was all too much, I was clearly referring to multiple things together. The debt, the extra work, and his health issues, all simply as existing, not as causative factors. I never stated that Mitchell's lawsuit caused or could have caused Apollo's death. Any connection someone might draw between the lawsuit and Apollo's passing goes beyond what I actually said. I was extremely careful, though obviously not careful enough, not to make that claim, because I know the difference between describing a sequence of events and assigning blame for a tragedy.
Another example, November 3rd, 2023, Mr. Jobs swore under oath in my lawsuit against Twin Galaxies that he was an investigative journalist. Then, 4 weeks later, on December 14th, 2023, he tweets this. These are all examples of the lengths that Mr. Jobs will go to in order to not concede any fact that opposes his desired narrative. He will warp semantics and documentary evidence to fit whatever he wants his audience to believe. He doesn't care about the truth. He only cares about the wrecking of people's lives to generate money and clout for himself, and to satisfy his malicious personal vendettas. In addition, I would like to respond one additional part of Mr. Jobs' I Lost video. In his I Lost video, Mr. Jobs claims that he offered to retract the allegations, but that I said I would sue anyway. That's not true, and the documents shown by him in that video do not support what he said. Let's play the clip, and I'll discuss.
After I removed the claim from my video, we responded to Billy's lawyers advising them that the segment was removed and that I would be issuing a retraction. Billy said this was not sufficient, and in the response from Billy's lawyer, they stated that proceedings were necessary.
What Mr. Jobs said and showed in these two scenarios are two different things that he misrepresented to mislead the audience. In the first screenshot, Mr. Jobs shows a portion of his response to my cease and desist letter, which said that he planned to issue a retraction. In the second screenshot, he shows a portion of my response letter to his response, in which I say that since he would not offer to make amends, proceedings would be necessary. Under Australian law, a retraction and an offer to make amends are two different things. An offer to make amends is effectively a settlement offer. A retraction is often, but may not always be, one part of an offer to make amends, along with anything else that the parties agree upon. What Mr. Jobs did here was take two different things, selectively frame the information to pass them off as the same, and bank on his audience never being the wiser, all to paint his desired narrative. What's more, Mr. Jobs deliberately cut the first screenshot in his lost video to admit the part of his own lawyer's letter that my letter was actually responding to. He was well aware of the difference between these two things. Please pause the video and read it. Bottom line, I told Mr. Jobs that I would proceed with a lawsuit unless he settled the case, but he chose to proceed to litigation. With all of that said, I expect this video to be my last time discussing Mr. Jobs. As you can see, if I spent all my time, if I responded to every claim that Mr. Jobs makes, every semantic tailored argument, every selectively cropped screenshot, every convenient omission, I would be doing videos forever. This is never going to end. That's because Mr. Jobs doesn't care about the truth. He cares about controlling the public narrative to suit his personal vendettas. That is all why I don't care for whatever he says in his upcoming videos. At this point, if someone believes what he says and believes what he shows, there's nothing I can do to help that person. Nothing. That person can just go crash out on his Discord with him. That's everything for today. Please remember to buy your own red joystick photo at rickysauce.com. 15% off with the discount code Karl Jobst. And I'll see you again.
Hi, Karl Jobst here, creator of ApproachHerNow.com. And if you're looking to increase your level of confidence around women and decrease the amount of anxiety you feel when you want to approach women, you've come to the right place. I have specifically created this website to help men who want more dates, relationships, and sex in their life, but just can't seem to make it happen because the act of approaching a woman is too difficult. Now, we all know it. If we can just go out and approach, we're going to get a lot of success. And this is true for many reasons. And this is why it is so frustrating when we can't approach. We know that if we can just get over this one obstacle, everything is going to be okay. A lot of things are going to take care of themselves if we can just go out and try to meet a lot of women. This is actually true. And if we can just get over our approach anxiety, we're going to get a lot of success and quicker than we ever have before. If you found it difficult to approach women in the past, I can assure you it's not because there's something wrong with you. If you can't approach, it's because you don't know how. And I don't mean you don't know what to say, and I don't mean you don't know what to do. What I actually mean is that you don't understand how anxiety works, and you don't understand how to deal with it properly. I struggled with approach anxiety for 6 years. I went out to bars and clubs every weekend, hoping to approach. I actually went out with the intention of approaching. I would say to myself before I went out, I am going to approach this weekend. But the thing is, I couldn't. Something was stopping me. Now, this wasn't because I didn't know what to do either. I had spent years and literally thousands of hours studying dating advice. I knew what to say and how to say it. But that didn't help me when it actually came to doing the things that I knew how to do. If I was out at a club and I saw an attractive woman I wanted to approach, I would start trying to talk myself into approaching her. So I would say things like, what's the worst that could happen? Or, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Or, if I don't try, I'm definitely going to fail. And the thing is, all of those things didn't work. My mind wasn't in control. My body had taken over and just was not letting me approach. Now, luckily, during these 6 years, I had broadened my horizons a little bit. I started studying things like self-development and psychology. And what I actually realized is, a lot of the advice I had been hearing in the dating community about how to overcome anxiety was completely different to the advice given by psychologists on how to overcome anxiety. I started incorporating ideas from diet and exercise, and I realized one of the reasons that a lot of us can't consistently approach is very similar to the reason that a lot of us can't consistently keep up a diet. And I realized that building confidence is very similar to building muscle. And once I started using this analogy, a lot of things started becoming a lot easier. Then, after 6 years of trying to overcome my approach anxiety, I had a realization that changed everything. Now, as soon as I had this realization, success started happening quicker than it ever had. I went from someone who couldn't approach at all to someone who could approach whenever I wanted. Now, this change wasn't instantaneous. I still had to do a little bit of work, but just to compare, I had more success in 1 month than I had had in 6 years of trying. And just as I had predicted, success with women came shortly after. This website contains my realizations. If you read, learn, and apply the information I'm giving you, you are going to get success quicker than you ever have. I have absolutely no doubt about that. It worked for me, and it has now worked for many men. Before you start reading, I want to give you one final thought. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter how famous you are. It doesn't matter how much money you make. If you have enough confidence, you can get as much success with women as you want. Now let me say that again. If you have enough confidence, you can get as much success with women as you want. And the best part is, confidence is something we know how to build. If you enter in your email address on the left, I'll send you my free ebook, which tells you everything you need to know about how to overcome your approach anxiety. And if you'd like, you can speak with me directly, one-on-one, in one of our online coaching sessions. During our coaching sessions, you can speak with me from anywhere in the world, and I will tell you exactly what you need to do in order to get the results you want. To find out more information about online coaching, click on the online coaching tab above. Until then, I wish you the best of luck, and I look forward to hearing about your progress. Hey guys, it's Karl here. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate a simple and easy approach you can do if you're looking to overcome your fear of approaching women. Alright guys, now I'm going to show you a few approaches, and then afterwards I'm going to break down exactly what happened. Let's go. Hey, sorry, I don't want to bother you guys. I just want to say I think you are really, really cute.
Oh, thank you.
Have a good night.
She's adorable, isn't she?
Yes, very adorable.
She's my cross.
Hey guys, I don't mean to bother you. I just want to say I think you are really, really cute.
Thanks.
Have a good night. Hey guys, I don't mean to bother you. I'm just going to say that I think you're really, really cute.
Oh, thank you.
That's alright. Have a good night. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt you guys. I don't want to bother you. I just want to say I thought you were really, really cute.
She is the most beautiful person I've ever seen. So I
agreed. Thank you. See you guys.
Thanks.
Hey guys, don't want to bother you. Just want to say I think you are really, really cute. Have a good night. Hey guys. Sorry, I don't want to bother you. Just want to say you are really, really sexy.
Sorry?
I just want to say you are really, really sexy. That's alright. Have a good night. Hey, excuse me guys. Sorry to bother you. I just wanted to say I think you are really, really cute. Have a good night. That's alright. Hey guys. Don't mean to bother you. Just want to say that I think she's really, really cute. That's alright. Have a good night. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt whatever you're doing there. I just wanted to say you are really, really cute. That's alright, have a good night. That's alright, have a good night. See ya. Alright, so you just saw me do a few approaches. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened now. So let's break it down into 4 simple parts. Step number 1, you're going to do something that's called an opening buffer. Now, this is something that basically makes the approach less intense initially. So, for example, you come up and say, hey guys, sorry, I don't mean to bother you, but. Or, hey guys, I don't mean to sound weird, but. So it basically makes the situation less intense for you and also for the woman as well. Now, step 2, you're going to give her the compliment. So, personally, I like to say, hey, I think you're really cute, but you can really do whatever you want. It doesn't really make a difference either way. Just pick something, though, that, is true. Don't lie and say something just for the hell of it. If you see something you like in a woman, just go up and say exactly what you think. Now, step 3 is really important, but it's really subtle. So you're just going to say the compliment, and then you're going to observe her behavior for about 1 to 2 seconds. So you say the compliment, then you just look at her, do nothing for about 1 to 2 seconds, and basically take in her response and see what she does. Now, the last step is probably the most important, which is leave. So you've said the compliment, you've observed her response, now you're just looking to get the hell out of there. No matter what happens, you're going to leave no matter what. So you can just say, hey guys, have a good night, or have a good day, I hope you enjoy yourself, whatever you want, and just leave. Now there are a few important points I want to mention though. Number 1, this is really a beginner's approach, so it's not meant for advanced people who really know what they're doing. This is simply for guys who just want to overcome their fear and they're having trouble getting stuff done. Second point is, I don't really prefer this environment, so I don't really think it's a good idea to stop people when they're walking. I much prefer, going to a club or a bar inside and talking to people when they're already stopped, so they're already sitting down, or they're just standing around, they're not really moving. I think that's a much better place to do it. The only reason I'm out here is because it's not so noisy, so you can hear what I'm saying. And the third point is, be consistent with it. So, 10 to 20 per night, once or twice a week. And you might have to do that for, a couple of months before you really start to notice the difference. But trust me, it is going to happen. What we're trying to do is decondition the brain for that fear response. So, currently, whenever we think about approaching a woman, we get the fear. By doing this exercise, it's going to undo that conditioning. It's going to rewire the brain so that over time, whenever we think about approaching women, we're not going to be so anxious. Okay guys, so let's recap. Step number 1, go in with a buffer. Step number 2, give her a compliment. Step number 3, observe how she responds. And step number 4, get out of there and leave. Pretty simple. Good luck guys. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Let me know how this goes. And also always remember the most important thing if you're looking to get over your approach anxiety. Subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be giving you a shitload of free good advice. Catch you later guys.
And as the night begins to fade,